This one is awesome. All right, I'm going to start with my 1/4 inch. This is the glide thread. And I'm going to use the glide thread for the line work, and then I'm going to switch out to a 60 weight glide to do the filler work, because I don't want it to be too thick. So we're going to start up here. All my ditches are done, like the other videos. And I'm just going to work that 1/4 inch echo line because I want the design to be contained within a space away from the outer edge. That's going to do several things. It's going to show it off. It also gives you a smaller space to fill. Notice how I'm not starting or stopping at the very end of my ruler. Same with this one. I just did a jump stitch and we'll do some lock stitches. Get us started. That's those done. Then the center of the quilt, I'm going to start here, work my way in. You can work your way in, out, or out to in with this particular block. It doesn't matter because all the ditch work is done. How about we just go to here? I'm going to chase my bobbin thread again. I keep cutting it too short. There we are. Okay, so how we're going to accomplish this one is I hold my ruler, lock my stitch right in the intersection. I've got my ruler right on the edge of that peak, and I'm going to drive the machine back just until the back of my foot hits my seam line. I'm going to come across till the foot hits my seam line, and then come back into the point. And I'll go all the way around both times because there's an echo line on this one here, straight towards there. Same for this one. Up and out till the outside of your foot hits that stitching. Down till the foot hits your stitching. Into the intersection. And then we do the same thing, except now we treat this line as the one that we're going to bounce to. Just till your foot hits the end, or the outside edge stitching. In. Now, in your drawing, I did these 3 little things. You can do those freehand, or you can use your ruler. We'll just go through the center like this. These are shorter on this side than they are on the other side, because there's too much thread in the center of this block. But it looks good. And it sort of brings the eye to the center. Maybe we'll put a crystal on it. How's that? That's always an option too. We can make it a modern crystal-y quilt. All right. So now we're going to do the same similar thing up here. So we're just going to work our way around this middle section. I'm going to do the same thing. So I've got my ruler up at the top there. I'm going to drive up to the 1/4 inch mark. to the 1/4 inch mark and down to the corner. I'm still using that dark grayish thread. It looks really good. There we are. Doesn't that look fantastic? I love it. So now we've got all our sections sorted out. I'm going to change out my thread to that 60 weight, and then we're going to fill it all in. All right, now I've got my 60 weight in here. It's a nice light, it's a nice white. I'm actually going to start in the edge here, right on the edge of my gray, because I've got sort of an angle to fill in there. And I really want this stitching to be straight up and down. I don't want to angle it out to make it fit. I want it to sort of look like it disappears. So I'm going to stay in stitch regulated mode for a second, and all we're doing is going up and down. Try to keep them straight. And if you need to, I'm not going to be able to stay here. I'll put it into manual mode. And I've slowed it down quite a ways. I'm only at 10 right now, because I want to be able to work slowly and not have my stitches at 20 per inch or anything silly like that. So play with your speed when you're in manual mode. Make it work for you. And I'm just sort of up and down, kissing the seam line, getting as close as I can to that stitching line without actually running over it. I'm not overly worried if some of them are a little bit further apart than others. It really doesn't matter. It'll all look good at the end. And then here I'm just going to walk my way up, going slow until I reach the top. And then I can stop and just do a couple of lock stitches down here. And work your way up into the space. There we go. That looks awesome. So I'm going to stay in regulated mode. It doesn't really matter where I start. Maybe I'll start down here somewhere. I'm going to start right on the edge. And you're not going to see this start and stop because it's mixed in with the stitch that's already there. It's not like I just started out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I'm going to speed my machine up just a smidge because this goes a little bit faster. And here we go. So we're going to come in, come out, and change direction. Now, it's very important with this filler that you do some bigger and some smaller. Otherwise, it's going to look really stagnant. It'll be harder to move around the space. That's the other thing it does when you have little tiny ones and bigger ones. Makes the space easier to move around. Gives it more variety. Cross right over that line. Bring it down there and fill that in. If you find work like this hard to see, sometimes it works if you get yourself some side lighting. A lot of people think that it's actually more light that you need, when in actual fact it's not. It's less light and not necessarily direct light. So I'm just filling in the space. Make sure you do big ones, like I said, and little ones. Echoing is your best friend here. It helps you travel. You can bounce in and out of places if you don't have enough space to actually put a curl or a spiral. Now, I'm not sure how much of this you can see because I can barely see it myself. But it looks super good. You can use these fillers anywhere on any of the blocks. You've got a ton of ideas now between all of them. You can mix and match. Here, I'm just going to jump up in there and then sneak through here and put one more in there. Lock out my thread. There we go. Looks good. There we go. I hope you love it. Lots of options for this one. Lots and lots of options.